So if you're a photographer, you've probably spent hours and hours editing photos in Lightroom. We all know it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So every couple seconds you can save yourself is gonna add up over the long run. So today I'm gonna be teaching you 9 Lightroom keyboard shortcuts that are gonna save you time. Whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or maybe even a pro, hopefully you'll learn at least one new thing from this video. If I did teach you something, please comment below. So let's get right into it. So number 1 today is going to be using the backslash button to see the before and after of your edits. So this is really important because it helps you to see where you're coming from and what you've changed in your editing process so far. This is gonna help things like over editing and kind of just give you a guideline is sometimes you kind of get lost of where your photo started when you're editing it. So just toggling between them back and forth can give you a nice visual cue as to how your edit is going so far. Following with that same kind of theme, number 2 is gonna be pressing the Y key. So pressing the Y key is gonna show you a side-by-side comparison of your raw photo versus your edited photo. When you're in this mode, you can zoom in, zoom out, similar to the backslash button, just kind of see where you've gone from your edit and get a before and after clear version side by side so you can see them nice and clearly. Number 3 is gonna be pressing Command C to copy edits. This is really useful when you have a lot of the same photos with similar lighting, meaning they're gonna be edited in the same way or very similar ways. So I use this for event photography all the time. When I'm using the same settings to take 50 photos, they're all the exact same lighting. You might have to tweak them a little bit, but if you edit one and then copy the edits and paste them onto the others, it's gonna kind of bring you 90% of the way there. This is really helpful so you don't have to go and edit every single photo one by one. So for example, this is a photo I took of my girlfriend. I'm gonna copy the edits from this one and then paste it onto this second photo. And the second photo was the same time, literally a few seconds apart. So the lighting and the camera settings were pretty much the same. And now I just copy these edits, paste them onto this photo, and boom, that has the almost exact same feeling as the other photo. I might have to tweak it a little bit if it's not exactly what you want, but at least it brings you 90% of the way there, saves you a lot of time. Next is gonna be going into full screen mode. So when you're editing a photo, there could be a lot of distractions when you're looking at the Lightroom app. So a good way to just kind of clear all that out and just see the photo is by pressing F for full screen. This is gonna eliminate everything but your photo on the screen so you get a nice clear image of what you're looking at. Following up with that, something that I personally use all the time is the L button, so low light mode. So the first time you press the L key, it'll kind of fade the background, then you press it again, it'll make everything black besides the photo. And then when you're done, you just press L one more time, it'll go back to normal. But this is really nice because this allows your photo to pop on a black screen, so it really helps you see the shadows, the colors, the details without all of those distractions. Good to just kind of make sure you're not pumping up the saturation or the lighting too much in your photos. And coming up next is pressing the R key to crop. So one thing I do a lot in my photography is take wider photos and then I like to crop down on specific subjects in those photos. But I'm constantly checking, changing the crops, double checking, changing it again. So not having to go all the way over and clicking on the crop button every time and just instead pressing the R key allows you to be a lot faster. And I know this sounds negligible. It's like, pressing the R key or scrolling your mouse and clicking on the crop button. But when you're editing thousands and thousands of photos, like I've probably edited close to 50,000 photos. Every couple seconds I can save is a game changer. When you're editing a batch of 100 photos, saving yourself 1 or 2 seconds on every photo is gonna add up over time. So the R key to crop. Coming up next is gonna be setting ratings for photos. Now this is one that I use every single time I edit. A lot of people didn't know this exists. So if you wanna rate a photo, you just press the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 keys, so the numbers on your keypad, and that's gonna set a rating to that photo that you'll see just on the bottom there. So this is super useful when you take a lot of photos and a lot of them are similar or the same subjects with maybe just minor angle changes or lighting changes, setting changes, things like that. So some that I think are pretty good, but I'm not sure yet, I'll rate like a 2 or a 3. And then when there's one that I see that I absolutely wanna edit, I'll put it at a 5. And this way you can go through, kind of sort through your photos and then go look back and see, okay, all of the 5s I wanna edit right away, all of the 3 or 4s or 2s, whatever you do, is gonna be some for later. Depends on your process, how you wanna do it, but this is really good for sorting through photos and really marking the ones that you like. So if you wanna remove the rating from any photo, just press 0, it'll set the rating to 0 or nothing will appear, and there you go. Very similar to this is gonna be pressing the 6, 7, 8, or 9 keys, again, the numbers on your keyboard, but this time it's for color coordinating. So I found this really useful in things like event photography when you're trying to label which photos are of which subjects. So let's just say you're shooting a wedding and you want to mark which ones have the bride and groom. Even in the background, just at any point in the photo, you can set them a specific color. So each number from 6 to 9 has a different color, and you'll see it on the bottom how it changes there. So if you want to set all of the ones with the groom as blue, all of the ones with the bride as pink or red, and then both of them green. And if neither of them are in the photo, you can put it yellow or blue. This is just an easy visual reminder to help you kind of identify and sort through photos. Similar to the ratings, personally, I keep the ratings for the quality of the photos and I keep the color coordinating for specific aspects in those photos. But you do what you want to do. Again, super helpful, saves you time in the long run, rather than running back and forth trying to figure out which photos are which. And the last keyboard shortcut I'm going to show you today is going to be how to pull up the masking tool. So masking is one of the most powerful tools in editing in Lightroom, or editing in general. I use a lot of masks in my editing, so I pull this tab quite often. So instead of going all the way over and clicking it every single time, you can just quickly press Shift W, and that's going to pull up the masks. This is super helpful when you're adding a lot of small masks for eyes or gradients or linear or subject masks. Doesn't matter. If you use a lot of masks, this keyboard shortcut is going to save you a lot of time. And that's it today. So I went really quick, but again, the theme of this is saving time. So I didn't want to spend 15 minutes yapping on. So sorry I was speaking very fast, but hopefully you learned something from this video. If out of all of those keyboard shortcuts, there was only one that you didn't know, please drop it in the comments. I'm really curious to see which ones people knew or which ones people didn't know about. If you want to check out my photography, go on Instagram @thesneakylens. And if you want to see other Lightroom tips or other photography tips for beginners and intermediates, check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.